What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update, the stimulus check update, daily news, everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., and everything you need to know about. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. I'll keep you up to date with everything going on here that you need to know about. And if you find these videos helpful, don't forget to smash the like button for us down below. Thank you so much. Also, I'm giving away $1,000 here in our What's in the Box contest. If you can guess what's in that box, you just might win money directly from me. And I'll be giving you a clue to what's in that box later on in this video. So make sure to watch all the way to the end. We got a lot to talk about here. There's a lot going on here. So we're going to jump right in here. So here we go. Today, over in the Pacific, the Tonga volcano just had one of the most violent volcano eruptions ever captured on satellite. As you can see here on this satellite image, wow, what an explosion. This actually sent a tsunami for thousands of miles, and it actually reached over to Hawaii and to the west coast of California. That is actually terrifying. Um, it actually looks like an atomic bomb went off. Wow, it's just, I don't even have words for it. It's insane. Wow. You can see here, waves up to 3 feet actually hit the west coast and Hawaii with this tsunami. 3 feet might not sound like a lot, but you can see here hitting Hawaii. The 3 feet of a tsunami actually hits much, much faster and much, much harder. As you can see that kind of footage there, it did come inland in certain parts there and flooded certain areas. So yeah, even though it was only maybe 3-4 feet in certain areas, it hit really hard and did flood inland for quite a lot of feet there. As you see that explosion there, yeah, pretty significant. And remember, that was thousands of miles away there. So yeah, imagine what it was like in other areas that were much, much closer. Yeah, so our thoughts and prayers go out to anybody affected by this worldwide. As wow, what an eruption there. Yeah, it's just crazy how 2022 has started off here. Wow, look at that. It's just absolutely crazy. We also have a significant winter storm hitting parts of eastern U.S. here, with up to a foot of snow hitting here in parts of eastern U.S. here, and already hitting a lot of parts of the U.S. here. And we might see power outages and a lot of people stuck in the snow, literally today, and already hitting here. So we'll have to see here. They're already saying that this could cause even more supply chain shortages and more grocery store outages as well, not just in the eastern part of the U.S., but even more as truckers and grocery stores and distribution centers will not be able to distribute to the rest of the U.S. as well. And unfortunately, this also may affect inflation and prices going on here as well, not just in the short term, but inflation has just been absolutely just ravaging. We had the new inflation rating here over the last 12 months was 7%, the largest in 40 years. Here is the White House responding to this. White House economic advisor Brian Deese. Check this out.
To use a couple of numbers to the point you were making this morning, the announcement this morning about bridge funding is the largest investment in bridges ever in our nation's history. And what's important about this is it's going to repair and upgrade 15,000 of the smaller bridges across the country. If you think about the economic interconnections in the country, The big bridges are, of course, important, and this bill has transformational investments here. What we're announcing today is those smaller interconnects that mean that goods can get to different parts of the country. We're rolling that out today. It's exciting. It's exciting, and obviously those investments will happen over the course of a couple of years. But by getting that going as quickly as we can here, we're going to start to make some progress on being able to move goods more cheaply and easily across the country.
It seems like the administration, given the job of putting the entire infrastructure plan to work, could have its work cut out for it already. Is there still an impetus, Brian, to go forward, with what we've heard from Senator Manchin and what we've seen with inflation? Do you still think Build Back Better should be a priority at this point as NEC director?
Absolutely. If we think about where we are economically, our focus is on the things that we can do to try to address the costs that American families are facing, and also to expand the productive capacity of the economy, to operate on the supply side, to get more people working, to move goods and services more quickly through the economy. We need to be able to build on what will be a historic year for economic growth in 2021, likely the strongest economic growth since the mid-1980s. And Build Back Better, it's not going to add to inflationary pressure. It won't add to aggregate demand. What it will do is it'll go at some of those costs, and those costs that families are facing that are most likely to keep them from working. So you think about childcare right now. We look at labor supply. It's on the minds of a lot of employers in this country. And in addition to immigration and the retirement issue, women are persistently not getting back into the workforce as quickly as we need them to. And a big pain point for that is the cost of childcare, the availability of childcare, the quality of childcare. We could take this common sense step, reduce the cost of childcare, just give families the confidence that they don't have to pay more than 7% of their income. That's a common sense thing to do. It'll be pro-work, get more people into the workforce, and it won't add to aggregate demand because it will be paid for over time.
Well, we can talk about where inflation arises and what's inflationary and what isn't. And some people argue that maybe it was the Federal Reserve, and we're hearing from Jay Powell and Lael Brainerd this week. But we are seeing numbers that are at we haven't seen in 10, 20 years for inflation. We saw another one this week. One of your former colleagues at Goldman, Curry, Jeff Curry, talking about a new bull market in commodities that's going to be years long. And I guess when I was asking about the political side of things, you've got a senator in Joe Manchin who's been talking about inflation the entire time as a reason for questioning when it was a $4 trillion or a $5 trillion bill. And you know where he stands, and he's been very, very clear where he stands. Don't you think he can say, and don't you think the people of West Virginia would say, what he has been warning about has been validated? Why keep trying to just ram this through when he obviously is probably not going to go for it and looks like he's been vindicated and validated? It just seems like maybe the president isn't always getting the best advice from those around him. And I think Joe Manchin actually said that it was the president's staff that he had a problem with at one point. Do you advise the president on these things, Brian?
I do, and I haven't ever worked for Goldman, but I appreciate the context. What I would say to that is Senator Manchin's a close partner. We work closely with him, and of course, I'm advising the president on this set of issues. And what we're advising him and what the president thinks is that the price increases right now are absolutely an issue. Absolutely an issue. They're affecting families where they are, but they're also affecting sentiment and the outlook, which is why our focus is on what we can do concretely to bring down those costs in the context of the Federal Reserve is moving and operating independently. The president is focused on getting quality candidates in chair there. But the focus here is on how can we actually practically address the costs that families are facing, while at the same time recognizing that we don't want to add to aggregate demand right now. We want to fully offset the cost of investments that we're making. And that's actually a plausible path that we have here if we focus on measures like childcare, healthcare, the cost of prescription drugs, lowering those costs and offsetting those across time. From an economic perspective, that actually is a way to not add to inflationary pressures, but actually expand our economy's productive capacity. I mean, what you and many others have talked about for years is we need to be more pro-growth. We need to get growth going, and we need to expand our economy's capacity to make goods, deliver services. The investments in the Build Back Better plan, if they're fully offset, will do exactly that.
And that is one of the biggest concerns right now is cost, the cost of everything, the cost of food, the cost of gas, the cost of insurance, the cost of everything you could think of right now is going up. And we talked about in a recent video, the cost of shipping was up 23% coming from overseas. So that is built into pricing. So when we talk about anything coming, a broom coming over from China, a cup coming over from China, a box coming over from China, anything being shipped over from China, it now has a 23% increase built into it. Okay. We're not talking about things like, free shipping coming from Amazon. Okay. That's on the final leg. Okay. We're talking about price increases built into the product. Okay. So when you talk about, buying a mouse from Amazon, okay, or Walmart, right? That now has a 23% increase built into it before the final leg of the shipping from Amazon. Okay. So when an entrepreneur or a business, you know, prices their product and that product is $20, okay, they now have to price that product at $22, okay, because they know their costs have gone up, okay, because they have to ship that over to America and it just costs more, 23% more just to ship it, okay. Now, those entrepreneurs or those businesses or those owners can choose to maybe bring their productions back here to America, but they have to compare costs. Okay, so the comparison there is, can they get it produced in America for anywhere close to the same amount? So I believe I've seen that the average hourly wage in kind of comparison is somewhere around $2 if you compare the and you equate it to American dollars to American dollars. Okay, so remember that American dollars, the hourly wage is $7.25, but we all know that like very few people work for that. Okay, a lot of states have much higher minimum wages, $10, in some cases $15. We all know that even Walmart and Amazon is hiring at $15 an hour in a lot of states. And or even maybe hiring at $12, $14. It really just depends on the state and the area. And going up, we had a whole bunch of states that in 2022 raised their minimum wages. And remember, that's just the minimum wage. That's just the minimum wage, or maybe the minimum starting wage. And remember that businesses can pay more as well. A lot of businesses have raised their minimum starting wage as well. And all this kind of affects the inflation right now, which is a major concern. And that's where everything is kind of combating, and this is one of the major things here. And then we talk about the virus going on right now, affecting millions and millions of people out of work, and we don't have a paid family and medical leave policy. That is one of the things in the Build Back Better package that they're trying to pass. We're the only first world country in the world that doesn't have a paid family and medical leave policy on the federal national level. The only first world country to not have that. Think about the millions of people that are out of work right now because they've tested positive. Even if they're not like violently sick, if they're not majorly sick, right? And they just can't go to work for 5 to 10 days, right? They're missing out on their paychecks, right? If they don't work at a really good employer, think about they're missing out on their paychecks, right? And right now, 25% of Americans are behind on their bills, a full 80 million Americans. Yeah, so think about how bad that is right now. Think about how many people that this virus is affecting on the economic level, on the financial level. And that's where, extra stimulus checks, extra even unemployment bonuses, all this kind of extra stimulus really matters to so many people when there's 80 million people that are behind. 80 million people. Think about that. And we're seeing a lot of headlines like this because today is January 15th. You can see here Biden's monthly payments to families were a godsend. Now that they've ended, parents are a little bit terrified about what comes next. Yeah, and I mean, today would have been the day that 60 million children would have gotten their monthly checks, the January 15th payments. And today is the day that they're not getting their checks because Joe Manchin didn't want to pass it. And the Democrats were not able to come to an agreement yet. That doesn't mean they won't be able to come to an agreement next week with the Democrats on their own, or that doesn't mean they won't be able to come to an agreement with the Republicans. There are a couple Republicans that are on board potentially with doing that as well. They would only really need maybe 10 or so Republicans to pass a standalone bill for an extension of the child tax credits. But as of right now, 60 million children are not going to be receiving those monthly checks that would have gone out today. Yeah, so this is kind of a major milestone that did not happen. Yeah, January 15th, checks that did not go out to 60 million of them. Yeah, that's a lot. And it's sad to say this. This is imagine if Social Security checks didn't go out today. Imagine if 60 million checks to anybody didn't go out today. It's something I'm very sad to report. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And this really only exacerbates the push for more stimulus checks for adults, an extension of the child tax credit checks for children and families. And we also have a push for Social Security raise for seniors as well this year. We have 2 or 3 different bills to increase Social Security benefits in addition to the 5.9% cost of living adjustment this year as well. We also have Social Security looking into reducing the Medicare Part B increase that they might be doing this year as well. If you've been watching my show, you know I've reported on that because of the Alzheimer's drug, the cost of that being reduced significantly. Even if you're not on Alzheimer's drug, it's built into the cost of Medicare Part B for everybody because Medicare has to pay for it. It's just one of the approved drugs. They might be reducing the cost of Medicare Part B premiums for everybody in 2022. So that could be another cost of living, well, not a cost of living adjustment, but another cost for seniors that pay for Medicare Part B. So that is another thing that could be coming down the pipeline. As always, I keep you up to date with everything here, child tax credits, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, stimulus, student loan forgiveness, everything, pretty much everything you need to know about state stimulus programs, daily news, everything you need to know about on a daily basis. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts here. It'll be interesting to see here how 2022 shapes up because, wow, it's started off pretty interesting. Who would have ever thought that the Omicron variant would just get this bad and stay this bad? We're still almost at 1 million cases per day every day now. And this is still not even including the people with at home tests. Honestly, we're probably over 1 million people per day. Because, I mean, a lot of people get these at home tests. I mean, in my area, you can let me know where you are. You really can't even find the at home tests. They're just like sold out everywhere. You can go to try to buy them online, they're sold out. So if the at-home tests are sold out everywhere, including online, imagine how many people are using them. A lot. I mean, probably millions of people. So, wow. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy. So, um, who would have ever thought that it would be this many people? And you can let me know your thoughts on this. And the question is that will people kind of get some herd immunity after this? It'll be interesting to see. The problem with this is there's a lot of people testing positive 2 and 3 times now, and that's kind of the interesting thing. It's kind of like, can you get herd immunity from the flu, or can you get herd immunity from a cold? I don't know if that's going to happen, because if that was the case, people wouldn't be catching the virus for a second or third time. So I don't know. You let me know your thoughts in the comments. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. I'll keep you up to date here. So, all right, let's get to our next clue here of what's in the box. Remember, I'm giving away $1,000 here. This is, I don't even know how many times I've done this. Just kind of our way of giving back here to our members of our community, just for watching our show, just kind of our way of giving back here, because I love you guys. I consider you guys my family. And again, our thoughts and prayers go out to anybody that has anybody sick with their family. I know there's just so many people right now. So again, our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody dealing with this right now. I know there's a lot of people. If you didn't see that in the previous video, my brother-in-law Jim is back from the hospital. He's back to work as well. So thank you so much for your thoughts and prayers. Yeah, and my cat Leo is doing really, really well too. So yeah, thank you for your thoughts and prayers with that, with him as well. So if you can guess correctly what's in the box, you're entered into the pool of people who have guessed correctly. And from there, we will randomly pick. We have a tool that randomly picks people. We'll pick 10 people for $100 each, for a total of $1,000 if you guess correctly. Okay, and this will be clue number 7. Clue number 7. Clue number 7 is: a good place to start looking for clues is Philadelphia. All right, clue number 7 is: a good place to start looking for clues is Philadelphia. So yeah, if you think you know what's in the box, comment down below. If you want to just take a guess, comment down below. It's completely free to do so. You can guess as many times as you like, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's completely free to do that as well. All you gotta do is click the subscribe button. It just makes it so you're not going to miss out on our videos. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss out on any new videos at this point. After subscribing, click the bell icon next to the subscribe button so you get reminders when we go live every day, which is at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll keep you up to date with everything going on here. You can click this video here to watch our newest video next, which has clue number 6 in it. And this video has clue number 5 in it, which also has information about millions of payments that are going out on January 19th. That's a really good video. You don't want to miss that as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.